Denny Grimes attributes his success to the power of perseverance. His 30 years as a superstar realtor has given Denny the content and humor to enlighten any audience.
You may not have had front row seats to those major sporting events, but if you've been in real estate more than 6 or 7 years, you did have a front row seat to the greatest market bubble known to man. And we've been watching it recover and change and maybe get a little better for the last 6 or 7 years, depending on what market you're in. And the reason I'm bringing this to your attention, not so much for the people in this room, because we know that, you know what, that market's not coming back. But there's a lot of agents out there, there's a media out there, and there's a public that still believe, they have some sort of hope that we are returning to that market.
Denny's stories are relevant because he still runs a top-producing team. So he will give listeners a timely roadmap that they can follow to reinvent their business and personal lives and recover the confidence they need to focus, align, and deliver results.
We can pretty much predict the questions we're going to be asked. We get asked a lot of questions like, when's the market going to bottom? Maybe I'll cover that. I know these guys touched on it a little bit. It's a totally meaningless question, totally impossible to predict, totally impossible to define. But do you ever get asked, is today a good day or a good time to buy real estate? Do you ever get asked that? What's the answer? Yes. Wrong answer. You may be right, but buyers aren't going to believe you because that's 100% self-serving. That's like the jailbird saying, I didn't do it. That's like Britney Spears saying, I'm a good mom. It may be true. It may be true, but let me give you the best answer. Mr. Buyer, I'll tell you when the best time to buy is, and that's when sellers fear tomorrow is worse than today. Now, that exists now, but how long it exists in the future, I don't know. The question you have to ask yourself, Mr. Buyer, is do you want to buy one day too early or one day too late?
Through his quick wit and sense of humor, the audience will be delighted to hear his insights into market trends, and he will break down the complex data that is meaningful information in real estate today. Denny has impacted thousands of people in his successful career, and now in the speaking industry. Through his keynotes, workshops, and seminars, Denny creates a motivational strategy that audiences can then excel in their business and personal lives.
One thing you have to understand about your market is where the inventory is and what the market's doing. They've already talked about, other people have used this graph. This is my inventory analyzer. And if you look at, you have low inventory. Basically, your absorption is low. And you can see in our lower price ranges, we have less than 6 months. That means upward pressure on pricing. You have to understand this because when you meet with a seller, you have to talk to them about market risk. Market risk can be, if you're in the upper price range and oversupplied, what? Prices are going to fall. So there's market risk. But even in a neutral market, there's market risk. What's that? They discover that Jeffrey Dahmer lives next door. The major employer in your town basically decides to lay off half the population. There's some sort of international event. Florida, what we have, a Gulf oil spill. There's issues that can affect the market, but you have to understand the nuances of your market to be able to advise your clients properly, because it will affect how you price strategically. As I close, how many agents here have a well-priced listing that hasn't sold? Ooh, don't raise your hand. You know what? Agents have got to stop drinking the seller's Kool-Aid. The sellers have a lot of favorite flavors. They have grape, which is gripe, and lemon lime, which is lemmy wine. And they have orange. Is orange you're going to hold an open house? But I'll tell you, the favorite flavor of a seller, they're into berries because they believe in overpricing their home very much.
To book Denny Grimes, please contact him at denny@dennygrimes.com or call him at 239-851-4600.